Well, welcome to Bourbon Writers. In tonight's first pour series, we're going to be cracking open the Bardstown Fusion. Now, this is Fusion number 8, and admittedly, I've not tried any of the Fusions before, so this is certainly going to be a first for me. And one of the reasons I put the Fusion in the queue to go ahead and get a first pour is because I am trying to find the Discovery number 10. I have been so interested in what I've heard about Disco 10, as they like to call it, then I thought, I need to go ahead and get this one out of the way, because if I find that Discovery 10, it's going to the top of the queue as far as first pours go. So the Fusion series, kind of like the Discovery, is a blend of multiple bourbons. This is a blend of, our Fusion number 8 is a blend of 3 bourbons, 2 of them from Bardstown, and then 1 of them is sourced. So the first one is 58%, and it is a 4-year. It's 75% corn, 21% rye, and I think it's 4% malted barley. The second one is also one of theirs at 12%. It also is a 4-year at, what does it say here, 72% corn, it's hard to read, 18% rye, and 12% malted barley. I think that's right. Oh no, I'm sorry. 70% corn, 18% rye, 12% malted barley. And then the last one looks to be 30% of a sourced Kentucky bourbon, a 12-year, and this mash bill is 74% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley. So Bardstown is certainly known for their unique blends, and well, I'm excited to try it. I hope you are. So we've taken the wrapper off, and we want to hear that famous pop, don't we? So, wow, it had a good amount of suction on it. Nice little topper. I always loved the shape of the Bardstown bottles. And then whatever they put on the back, I don't know if you can see this in this light, as the bourbon comes down, you see more and more of the background design they put on the bottle. It's quite unique. So let's see if we can get some chugging going on. A little bit. It's pretty high, and it's got a short neck to it. So let's put that back on. You know, I've been a fan of the what is it? The Bottled and Bond, the Origin series, Bottled and Bond, and it's a wheated bourbon. And that has won several contests, the Bardstown Bottled and Bond. In fact, in our Wheat Week competition, our Elite 8 series, it beat out 7 other wheated bourbons, and it's a continual favorite of mine. I hope this one is a favorite of mine as well. So, let's look at the color and see what kind of oil we got going on. Give it a little spin. I love looking at it in front of this big box light I have here. It's got some nice legs going on there. It's kind of a light to medium amber, maybe a little bit golden, especially when you spin it. I mean, you see some golden colors come into it, and some nice legs to it. Really nice. Okay, well, what's the aroma like, you ask? I would say pretty traditional bourbon. Not too sweet. Oaky. Maybe some dark fruit. A little bit of molasses brown sugar going on. Like I said, it doesn't smell real sweet. Very traditional bourbon. Okay. Well, let's not wait any longer. Cheers. Definitely got a little bit of spice going on in the front. I can definitely taste the rye. It's not as sweet as some of my other bourbons, which is always a little bit of a disappointment for me because I tend to like the sweeter side. I mean, not, you know, amaretto sweet, but I do like a little bit of sweetness. This has got a lot of depth to it, though. There's a lot of flavors going on in the palate. Definitely some dark fruit. The sweetness is moderate, molasses, brown sugar, kind of. And it goes and spreads out pretty well. It's nice. Let's take another sip. I definitely can taste some maturity or age in this bourbon. It does not taste like a young bourbon at all, and that's obviously the influence. Was it here? It's hard to read. I think it is, yeah, it's 30% of a 12-year bourbon from Kentucky. It doesn't say who, and you can speculate who it might be. Certainly in the past, and a lot of the Bardstown stuff, we've seen things from Tennessee, which a lot of people assume is George Dickel bourbon or whiskey. None of that here. This is all Kentucky. 2 of theirs and a 12-year from someone else. It's kind of be expected. Bardstown's not been around long enough to have a 12-year-old bourbon. So let's take one more sip. Final thoughts. This is a well-rounded bourbon. It's not quite as sweet as I'd like. It's got a good Kentucky hug going on there. You get some nice baking spice and dry fruit going into the finish. The finish seems to last. You get a good coating on the palate. It's a good bourbon. There's bourbons in my collection I like better, but it's good. Now, I can tell you I don't like it anywhere near as well as the Origin, the wheated. You know, that's a different animal. I just love what they've done with the Origin bottled in bond. But this is good. This is very good. My preference would be a little more fruit and a little more sweetness, but mature. The age of the bourbon with the combination of the 12, it definitely has a lot of depth to it. If you're not familiar with our rating system, we basically don't give it a score more than we give it a recommendation. 1 through 5, 1 being the top. And 1 is like, stop now, stop the video, go and get it because it may not be there tomorrow. You want to get it right now. Well, it's not a 1. And I will tell you, it's really, although close to a level 2, I'm actually going to give it a level 3. I think it's a good bourbon. I don't think it's a need. I think Series 8 has been out for a while. I see the Fusion everywhere. There's no need to go buy it on your next trip. So I would shop around and see what price. There seems to be a lot of variety or range in pricing with the Bardstown from bottle shop to bottle shop. And I would shop around and see and get this at the best price. I think it's definitely worth having in your collection. I certainly recommend you buying it. But I think you should also, the Bardstown stuff can be a little pricey sometimes, and sometimes the bottle shops do charge a lot for it. So the Fusion is everywhere. Shop around, buy it at the best price, add it to your collection. So we're saying a recommendation, level 3, a solid level 3. So really look forward to the other Discovery series, Fusion series, although I heard that the Fusion may be on its way out. I don't know why. Maybe it's in favor of the Discovery, maybe in favor of more of the Origin series, which I've heard they want to expand now that they've been in business long enough to have some 4-year-old bourbons of various blends. So that could be that they just don't need the Fusion anymore, and you'll see more of the Origin, which that'd be great because I love the Origin I have now. So this is a good bourbon. If you like traditional bourbons that aren't too sweet with a lot of depth, I think this is your bourbon. So we hope you like this video and that you'll comment and share, and please always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and go find you some other Bardstown bourbons. They're pretty good. See you next time.